can do 40, 45. Once upon a time, there was a mom who got divorced and had to go through bankruptcy and learn how to manage being a mom on her own with 2 children. Welcome to my story. All right, so let me catch you up. Back in 2017, I was at work minding my own dental hygiene life, and one day a patient came in, and I don't remember how the conversation went, but she talked about Financial Peace University. I had never heard of this. I had never heard of Dave. No, I have heard of Dave Ramsey one time, and it went in, out. But this particular time, she said, yeah, you should take this financial course. It's being offered at a local church. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. So I signed up for the course. I believe it was 6 to 8 weeks. And during that course, I learned that it is possible to be financially free. I learned that you can live a debt-free life. I had never heard that before, because I believe, like so many people across the world, believe that debt is just normal. And when I saw these people telling their testimony regarding living debt-free lives, I just believed that if it was for them, then it can be for me too. You know, God has blessed them, God can bless me. But I had to take some steps. I had to do some things on my end in order to reach becoming debt-free. And so I'm going to be honest with you. When I first thought about it and decided that I wanted to be debt-free, yes, it sounds great on paper. Yes, I'm going to be debt-free. But there's some legwork, and I had to write down all of my debts. You guys, that's very depressing, because it shows you like how careless you were to a certain degree. Hey, sometimes you just didn't know better. If you were like me, you just didn't know better. And I wrote down everything, and I'm like, whoa. And I went through a couple of different emotions. I was depressed because I was like, how am I going to pay this off? And it took me a while to even get my feet wet regarding and get my mind wrapped around, AP, you got to pay this off. You can do it. So one of the steps that Dave Ramsey talks about is cutting up your credit cards. I did do that. And that was a big step for me, because I had every credit card. Boom, 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 boom. And I cut the credit cards, of course, and then I sat down and I came up with a plan. My plan, becoming debt-free, was to pay off any loans that I had regarding furniture, anything with like if the expiration date was coming up. I wanted to pay those off, and then pay off credit cards, and also pay off my student loan. So I was able to tackle all of that, but I was determined, and I threw money toward all of my debt so I could be done with it. That right there in itself, it's excruciating. It is an eye-opener. For me, it was painful, but yet gratifying, because I knew that I had purpose in what I was doing. And so I want to encourage you, you also have purpose. If that is something that you want to do, is pay off your debt, you can do it. So fast forward, I was able to pay off all my debt. I was excited. Everything was paid off in 2019 except the mortgage. I was able from then to go on vacations with cash. I purchased different things with cash. I was living my best cash life. And I also watched The Budget Mom, and she talked about cash envelopes as well. And so I had sinking funds for everything that I wanted to pay for, so I can pay cash and not go back into debt. Fast forward 2020. I got into a car accident. 17-year-old girl hit me uninsured, totaled my vehicle. Now, mind you, I was able to pay my car off before this accident. So I was driving my car, and it was paid off. I was living my best. I was very content in my little world of not having any debt. The girl hit me, but because, first of all, I'm grateful that I'm here to even tell that testimony. But second of all, I'm grateful because I knew the knowledge of saving. And so when it was time, they had a total on my car. And then the insurance policy gave me a check, and I was able to put some money toward purchasing a new car. I had never done that before, you guys. I had never purchased my own vehicle with cash. Now, the one I had, I was able to pay it off. So that in itself is exciting. But then here I am having to buy a new car. So that is the one that I usually see me in. And that's exciting. Now, fast forward again. I've been saving. One of my main goals was to save 1 year's worth of living expenses. If you've been following me, you know that's one of my goals. But here I am now with a teenager. 2 actually, but 1 has his permit. You guys, and I'm like, I cannot have just one vehicle for us to drive. You know, if something happens, I need to get to work. And so I prayed, and I prayed, and I prayed, and then you hear all of the talk about that it's hard to get a used car because used cars cost so much money. So this story is also about faith. And so you hear the chatter of, it's so hard to get a car right now because, you know, they're just going up on prices regarding your used cars, and you're just going to pay so much, and then there's just a limited supply. And I had to silence that noise because I trusted God. And so I prayed, and I'm like, Lord, whatever car you will have for me to purchase, it's in your hands. I'm just going to do my portion. And if you've been watching previous videos of my money challenges, that I'm doing 6 money challenges this year, one of the money challenges was to save toward my son's car. And as time progressed, I was like, you know what? I feel like this is the right time to go look for a car. So I went out after work one day, and I went to CarMax, and I saw some cars, but I was like, and I grew up, my family, my dad's side, they worked at Ford. I drive a Ford, and so it's just in my blood. My last car, the one that I was in a car accident, that was a Ford. And so giving homage to my dad and my uncles, my granddad, everyone, I was like, I want a Ford. And so anyway, actually it's so weird because one of my patients was like, have you checked, like earlier that day, he was like, have you checked the Ford dealership? And I was like, well, I went past there and I didn't even see the used car sign anymore. I believe they took it down. And he literally took the time, it was a young guy, took the time and looked on his phone. He was like, you know, no, you should go check it out and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I left CarMax and I went to the Ford dealership, and lo and behold, like, I'm just want to tell you, what's for you is for you. And so I went, and the car salesman was like, you know, here's a new car. Well, not used, it's used, but it just got to the lot. And of course, I guess car salesmen, they just want to sell, and that's fine, that's their job. And so I was like, you know what? What's for me is for me. Sir, I'll have to leave, because I knew I couldn't just purchase it right then, because I had to call the bank so they won't just say, oh, someone's trying to steal your money. I had to alert them, let them know that, you know, I would be making a huge purchase. And so I went home, and I was able to contact my bank, and she was like, okay, you're able to, you know, buy a car, you know, you're able to use this amount of money. And so I was like, okay, cool. So I made my children dinner, and then I went back up to the car dealership. I walked in. At first my hair was wrapped up, so when I walked in, the gentleman was like, huh? Because my hair is out. And I was like, it's me, it's okay. I was like, he was like, you came back. I'm like, yeah, I told you, you know, what's for me is for me. So anyway, fast forward, I was at the car dealership, and y'all, it was so easy. I was in and out in about an hour and a half. I was paying cash. I didn't have to take out a loan. I'm like so stoked right now, because like, yes, I'm a grown woman, but like, this was big girl moves. This was adulting at its best. Being able to purchase a car without any help, with cash. Can we just high five on that? Cash. And so now, oh, so then I had to sign all the paperwork, of course. And because it's just me, I had to Uber the next day and go pick up the car. And my son, I was like, that next day I had to take the youngest. He gets facials for his acne, and the oldest was at school doing something, PSAT, all this high school stuff that he has to do. So his friends was able to, the parents were able to drop him off at the house. And I get alerts. I have cameras all around my house. And so I get alerts that he's home, and I can see him on the cameras, and he's like looking at the car, he's taking pictures of the car and sending it to his friends. How you feel? Does it feel like you?
Yeah. My car feels like me.
Pronoun. The car. It's nice and clean. So that right there made my heart glad, because one, you know, thinking back to where I came from and thinking that taking out a loan was the only way to get a car. So here I am, able to not only purchase one car with cash, but 2 cars with cash. And I'm showing my boys that things are possible, that I can be that example to you. And so now I'm like stoked. So he saw the car, and when he was able to drive the car. I just got an insurance. Now we're gonna do a whole video, another video on car insurance. Car insurance is evil. Let me just say that it's evil. It's a blessing when something hit the fan and you need it, but it costs a lot of money. Anyway, so the car is insured. That is the car that I am sitting in right now. So exciting. But I just want to be a blessing to you. I was a blessing to my son. I want to encourage you that, hey, I'm a single mom on one income, and you know, it's a blessing that I'm able to do this and to be an example to my children, to not, you know, live a life of debt, to use cash for purchases because it's possible. They saw their mom doing it. And I want to be a blessing to you as well. If you're watching this video, please comment below if you're blessed, because I want to be an example that you can do it too. Whatever it is, if you're trying to pay off debt, hey, I've done it. I'm like, not like a robot, not some movie star. I'm not like famous. I'm just a regular single mom who's saving and investing and doing, it's just trying to do the best that I can for my boys. So today is a good day, and I just want to share that with you. I'm sitting in a used vehicle, new to our family, but guess what? The title will be coming in the mail soon. I'm so happy about that. So car is insured. I'll probably let him get his license a little later in the year. We still need to practice on the driving. He did good today, but practice on the driving. But I hope you were blessed by this video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button, and also send it to someone else who may need the encouragement, to let them know that all things are possible to them who believe. But you also have to do your work. Faith without works is dead. So you also have to save your money. Let's pay off debt, get out of debt, so we can pay things for cash. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. You take care, and you stay blessed.